Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rick, man. I'm back at it again, man. LIB Media, man. I'm here, man, with the breaking news. So I guess by the time y'all see this video, it ain't gonna be breaking news, but it's breaking news at the moment. So Mike Malone for the Denver Nuggets got fired today. The Denver Nuggets are the fourth seed in the Western Conference right now. Had a pretty good season. It's kind of stable, but it's been a lot of ups and downs. But the main thing I guess to talk about here is this. It's two ideas that needs to really be talked about here that are like two separate things, but I think a lot of times a lot of us fans put those two things together, right? So in basketball, right, the sport is run by stars, and no, you can't just put stars together and just win without a coach, because the coach has to be a good enough coach to understand the personalities and everything like that. But there is a misconception of how good a coach is based on how good a team does and how far a team goes. Like, so with the Lakers and Darvin Ham, I never thought Darvin Ham was a good coach. I just thought the Lakers had enough star power with AD and LeBron at the time to get to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, they lost to Denver. Denver won the finals, right? But that didn't necessarily make them a good coach. Then on the flip side, you got this other part of like, you have coaches who are pretty good, but sometimes the players don't necessarily relate to the coaches. So Taylor Jenkins with Memphis, even when jamorant is not playing, Memphis is always up there consistently as a team. They keep winning games under Taylor Jenkins. They were a good team, but he just didn't connect with the players, even though he was an individually good coach. And so you got to be able to kind of separate the two, because you got to understand, like, okay, you can be a good coach and get fired because you're not relating to the players, right? Or you're not getting the best out of the specific players, right? And then you have the flip side of, you can win games as a coach because your players are just really good, but that don't mean you're doing your part, right? As far as how that all goes. I think Mike Malone is in the middle. I think he's kind of unfairly being fired. Like Taylor Jenkins, I understand it wasn't necessarily a jamorant thing. It wasn't his fault. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he had to learn the coach without that player. So now it's like, well, he's back and we need you to utilize him. And I guess he probably had trouble utilizing him because he got used to coaching without him, right? And so I think Mike Malone is kind of being unfairly scapegoated a bit in this situation. The Nuggets are dropping. They have dropped in the standings a bit. They were the number 2 seed at one point, but I mean, a lot of that has to do with injuries. Michael Porter Jr. has been out a couple of games. Russell Westbrook blew a couple of games, and that's just not necessarily just his fault, but it came down to the wire. Jokic has been running on E because he putting up these motherfucking out of the world extraordinary numbers, right? And and it's not resulting into great wins on the court, but it's hard to do that without Jamal Murray being there, who's hurt, and Michael Porter Jr. being in and out. Aaron Gordon's really been the most consistently healthy of their kind of bigger star players, right? And because of what they lost after they won the championship, they needed their bigger star players to step up. I understand for an organization, when you got a star player, you have to mentally say to yourself, when I have a star player, I need to do everything I can to win while I have that star player, because it's going to be hard to get another one in the future. But also, I think when you make players learn a whole new system and move too many pieces in and out, that also doesn't work. I mean, I think the players who were on Denver was on Denver for a while before they broke through and actually won. I mean, they had to deal with the injuries. Jamal Murray missed almost a whole full season. And then when he came back and he got healthy and he got in the mix, they won the championship. So I don't know. I know people been talking about the whole thing with, like, you got Nick Nurse, Mike Budenholzer, Frank Vogel, they all won championships and then got fired. I think in all three of those situations, The team kind of fell off and they got stale. Their voices got stale in the locker room. And I think it was best for them to move on. I don't think that was happening to Mike Malone. I think, a lot of these players are like pushing to get rings. And if you win one, you're like, I got to get more so I could be acknowledged with the greats. But sometimes, in my opinion, it's just more than one way to skin a cat. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think Mike Malone shouldn't have been out of there, not based on what we've seen from him and what's been going on. But y'all give me y'all take, man. This your boy Rick, man. This LIB Media, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. This your boy, and I'm out of here. Peace.